This is the Jocko Underground Podcast, number 182, sitting here with Echo Charles. We've got some questions from the troopers out there in the world. We will provide answers. We'll provide recommendations, courses of actions.
Courses of action.
Yep.
Which is helpful, by the way.
Indeed.
Okay, first question. Hi, Jocko. Long-time listener here. Father of 2, 8, and 4. Husband, business owner, and brown belt. Oh, yeah. Who trains hard every morning, inspired by your example. My problem is my 8-year-old daughter is very bright, but extremely defiant about chores and daily effort. Every request turns into a fight, and I inevitably lose my cool. After a recent blow-up, she asked, "What's the point? You're always mad anyway."
Yeah, she got you.
Mm-hmm. I'm failing to lead at home. My anger sets a negative tone for my family, and I want to break this cycle, earn her respect, motivate effort, and set discipline without crushing her trust or spirit. I've done therapy for anger in the past and greatly changed my perspective and approach, but I'm human and I still struggle with triggers. What advice do you have for fathers wrestling with this battle at home? How do you lead defiant kids who rattle the home's stability and maintain trust so the family buys in? Thank you. Listening to your podcast has helped me push through tough spots for years.
Yeah, right on. Classic case of imposing things on people.
Yeah.
And look, you can get away with that some of the times. Like maybe 10%, 20% of people will be okay with that. Most people won't. That's why it doesn't work. That's why we didn't write a book, called like Extreme Tyrannical Leadership, because that doesn't work. It doesn't work in a business. It doesn't work on the battlefield. It won't work with your family either. So here's a couple things, just straightforward. It's gonna be a little tricky because I was about to say you think you know best, and you actually do know best. You do know what's best for your daughter, and if you could program exactly what she should do, study from this time, train this much, clean this thing, play violin at this time, and you could program your kid and just break their spirit and just make them do, that would be like the ideal. You'd make the ideal kid, right? Except for the part that where I said broken spirit, because you have to break them to get them to do that, right? You have to break them to get them to do that. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You want to give her some ownership. You want to kind of, as much as you can, treat her like an adult. Not in a punitive way, and don't go crazy, don't go overboard. But if you look at her, an 8-year-old kid, I've known guys that were 8 years old, that lived on a farm, and they would, drive the tractor into town with hay and sell it, like get the money and bring it back, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like an 8-year-old is a capable human, and so let her come up with the chores. And maybe there's going to be some like, well, Dad, it doesn't make sense that I have to, make my bed every day. Instead of freaking out and be like, you're going to lack discipline. No, just be like, okay, cool. Yeah, you're right. Just pull the comforter up so we can tell it it's, so you can put stuff on it. It won't be messy. Or if the dog jumps on it, it won't get, hair inside, just whatever. It's just real simple. Let her come up with a chore list. And then, maybe negotiate some kind of a salary. What do we, let's work. Let's get some rewards, some compensation here. And you got to explain the why. And the why's got to be pragmatic. And it's got to be something they can understand too. And kids don't understand this will instill this discipline that you need in the future. They don't care about that. It needs to be, hey, listen, here's the bottom line. If we have a fire in the house and the firefighters have to come through your window and there's crap all over the floor, they're not going to be able to get you out of here. So I don't care how clean the room is. You don't have to get the dust off the floor, but you can't have a bunch of toys all over the floor. Cool? Yep, cool. So like a pragmatic explanation. Hey, you can't have dishes in your room because then we have flies and we have mice and we'll have ants all over the house. So you can't have, dishes in your room. Just pragmatically, you can't do it. Mm-hmm. Do you have to fold your clothes a certain way? No, you don't have to. If you don't mind going to school with wrinkled clothes, I don't care. What if the other parents judge you as a bad parent? Like, whatever. My kids look like damn freaking, they were raised by wolves when my kids were that age. My son didn't wear shoes. He didn't wear a shirt. His feet looked like he was a damn caveman. My daughters only wore like leotards, dirty leotards. So you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I wasn't like, people probably looking at me going, that guy doesn't even There's no discipline in this house. Really?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like some pragmatic things to do. The other thing is, you want respect, you got to give her respect. You want her to trust you, you got to give her trust. You want to have influence over her, you better allow her to influence you. That's, trust, listen, respect, influence, and care. That's what you got to do. It's really hard to give those things to your kid because you know you're so much smarter than them. And I'm saying that like being a jerk saying it, but I know it's true. I know for all of my kids, I could have given them the ultimate schedule that they then would have been the jiu-jitsu champion, the wrestling champion, the freaking guitar hero, whatever. Like you can impose, or you can come up with a plan, the perfect plan, put it in a chat GPT. Hey, how many times a day should my daughter be training jiu-jitsu in order to be a world champion? What school should she go to for jiu-jitsu? And where, how many times a day? What athletic pursuit should she take on? What Olympic lifting? You see what I'm saying? You could do, and you'd be right. You'd be right. And you'd also have a child that would hate you. And you'd have a child that hated whatever sport you were trying to get him to do or whatever thing you were trying to get him to do. So if you build a relationship with them and you make all those things fun instead of freaking misery, and discipline doesn't become this horrible, overbearing tone inside your house where everyone just thinks you're ridiculous. You're trying to run this thing like a tyrant. Then it'll be problematic. But if you treat them like, listen to what they have to say, put some trust in. Oh, hey, do you want to go? What are some things you're going to? Hey, do you want to go and train jiu-jitsu? I don't know. Is he trying to get his kids to do jiu-jitsu?
No.
You're trying to get your kids. Let's say you were trying to get your kids to train jiu-jitsu, and they're like, "Well, I don't really want to train today." Oh, well, you want to do something else? Well, yeah. Well, what do you want to do? I don't know. Do you want to go get some ice cream? Okay, yeah, let's go get some ice cream. Then we'll skip jiu-jitsu. You see what I'm saying? Just have fun. Have fun. And by the way, what you're at, here's the important thing. That person that you raise like a robot ends up with a person without a mind that isn't going to be able to think, isn't going to be able to overcome adversity, isn't going to be able to figure out ways out of problems that they're going to get presented in their life. So you think you're making them a better person, but you're making them a worse person. You have to open up their minds. You have to allow them to brush in the guardrails of failure. These are all things that you have to do. You have to teach them to think for themselves. You have to teach them to think for themselves. And guess what? Sounds like your daughter thinks for herself right now. She's got that beautiful natural spark of individuality and spirit. And that's gonna come with some damn problems, bro. I was looking at old videos the other day of my kids when they were little.
Yeah.
I almost posted them. Because you see a couple of videos of Rana and you're like, dude, that's going to be hard to handle. You know what I mean? She just, sure. You see some little pictures of Frey when she's like, you're like, oh, that's going to be, these are not obedient, slaves. Mm-hmm. Or my son, like when he's a little kid, you're like, oh, this kid's going to be, you're going to have to put some freaking guardrails up and he's going to hit him. And you've got that with your daughter. It's freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing. It's like when you're a battlefield leader, would you rather have that totally obedient guy that only does what you say and you have to push him to get him to go out in the field and make it happen? Or you want to have someone that's, dude, I got to pull the reins in on this guy? Of course. Yep. So that's what you got to do with your daughter. Now with yourself, bro, you got to learn to detach. Take a step back, take a breath, recognize that you are embarrassing yourself when you get mad. Your daughter, I laughed when you read that. I rarely interrupt you when you're reading, Echo. But when your 8-year-old daughter calls you out and says, what's the point? You get mad anyways. That's an 8-year-old calling you out. That's embarrassing. And she's right. You can't let that happen. You cannot let that happen. So, treat your kids like they're a little, like they're adults. Treat them with respect. Listen to what they have to say. Give them some leeway, bro. They want to go out and expand into the world. Do you want them to stay in the nest for the rest of it? What is Jordan Peterson calls it? Smothering mother.
Yeah.
Devouring mother. Yeah, devouring mother. Yeah. That's what it is. Devouring mother. Yeah. That's what you're acting like here. Is a devouring father. Everything must be my way. And it's horrible. Be stoked that you've got some strong, defiant, wild kind of kids. Those are the kids that become, super. Be thankful that you don't have unthinking automatons that are so scared of you that they just obey you out of fear. Because as soon as they turn 18, they are out of there. And they're going to go do some really, truly defiant stuff that's not healthy. It sounds like you got some rebels on your hands. Good. But let's help them figure out what to rebel against. And let's make sure that the thing that they're rebelling against isn't you. And the harder, the stronger, and the more you try to hold them down, the more they are going to try and break away from you. So you're in a beautiful situation. Luckily, she's only 8 years old. Luckily, she's just going to kind of remember. I got my kids right now. They'll kind of remember that you used to be mad a bunch, but then they'll be like, oh, no, oh, yeah, when we were little. Mm-hmm. And they'll probably end up thinking it was like some of the stuff that was maybe that they were doing. So you'll be okay. You'll be fine. And they'll grow up, yeah, my dad was awesome. Oh, yeah, he used to do this with us. Oh, yeah, yep. And then that's what you want, man. Don't try and freaking control people. It doesn't work. Try and build relationships with them. And that's what I got.
I agree. There's one part that I don't necessarily agree, and I know you were making a huge point or nothing, but you said something like along the lines of, yeah, you know best, right? The parent knows best. Mm-hmm. Bro, I don't even think that's true, bro, a lot of the time.
Yeah, you're right. How was I trying to explain? It's like,
that's the belief when you're in the moment.
Yeah, I know that you think that you know the best. And I will say this. Many parents, if given, like I said, like if they were able to program the daily activities of a child. By the way, now it's important to remember that they haven't even programmed daily activities for themselves, right? There's a reason why they're trying to put all this stuff on there. So that is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to jockounderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms, so we are not subject to their control. And we are doing this so that we can support the Jocko podcast, which will remain as is, free for all, as long as we can keep it that way. But we are doing this so we don't have to be under the control of sponsors. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us. And to do that, we're building a website right now where we'll be able to utilize to strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's jockounderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@jockounderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.